The Switch is much stronger than the PS4 or Xbox One were at launch. The Nintendo Switch is almost here, and while nearly everyone who will be getting the thing already has a pre-order sorted, we still take the event to consider whether or not the machine is worth buying. Erik, Kain and Tassi have been wondering whether or not to move on launch day, whether it has the features, games or price tag to compete, and whether or not Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild is worth $360. It's an important debate, but it reminds us of another qualifying fact that we should remember: consoles are nearly always terrible at the beginning. Remember the Xbox One and PS4 launch? Sure, they were exciting new boxes that offered the best graphics that console gamers had ever seen. But what we were actually doing with those boxes? We were playing games like Rise, Son of Rome, Knack and, at the absolute top of the quality echelon, Killzone, Shadowfall. Even that last one was at best fine, and would barely register if it were released today. Nothing to write home about, really, even if we did have shinier graphics than before. This, by and large, has been the accepted console launch narrative for years now. Early adopters buy for loyalty and novelty, and the rest are expected to follow as game launches continue to build excitement. Through this lens, the Switch's launch is pretty remarkable. We're getting a game that people have been hyped about for years, a game that by all accounts stands as a contender for the best Zelda ever. Like with Super Mario 64 back in the day, it bucks the trend of lackluster console launches by giving the faithful something genuine to get excited about. We've got other games, too, notably one, to Switch, but we all know the star of the show here. So, in an odd way, the Switch has that one thing that nearly every console lacks at launch: a genuine reason to buy it. But wait. Those that have read me at Forbes before know that I'm somewhat cautious about the Switch overall, so let's bring in a healthy dose of realism here. Yes, The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild makes the Switch a much more logical day one purchase for the most simple of reasons. But people don't just buy consoles for launch, they buy them to enjoy them over the course of several years. And here we have to wonder the degree to which Nintendo can establish a vibrant third-party ecosystem. The Wii U showed that a piece of hardware can't survive on Nintendo's development alone. So while people bought the PS4 and Xbox One at launch largely to check out new graphics, they could also see a future where both systems received dozens of excellent games across all genres, just like with the PS3 and Xbox 360. That future has now come to pass, meaning those that bought at launch essentially paid $50 $100 premium for the excitement of being the first to have a shiny new toy. The investment, entertainment-wise, was never really in question. The Switch cannot yet develop this vote of confidence, meaning that buying the console at launch is, to an even higher degree than usual, paying $360 for The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild. On top of that, this holiday season will see the Switch going up against the well-established and cheaper Xbox One and PS4, both of which will be getting a raft of new, hype-worthy games that the Switch will likely not be receiving. Don't expect a media blitz for Red Dead Redemption 2 to do the Switch any favors. In short, the first 6 months of the Nintendo Switch are much stronger than those of the Xbox One or PS4. The rest of the time remains a question.